And well, we're back for more Overlord. And when we left off in the last episode, well, the village has found a new chief. But whether or not that is going according to plan with Ainz, well, it's not. I can't see it being a bad thing, since they're already quite indebted to him. But it is quite safe to assume that the first order of business for this chief will be to calm the events that are culminating over in the forest with the rise of the two other monsters, now that the king has been removed. So, if they actually get round to it, let's see how she deals with this crisis. Was the meaning of this meeting? Just because they are lowly beings, but calm yourself. Of course, this is going to be information that you would like to know. The fact that they flinch when he moves. How is he meant to make plans if his underlings don't actually... in one way, but he didn't inform her exactly what the meaning was. However, so she wouldn't mind if that village was swept away. But it just goes to show, even in an organisation like this, poor communication can be the downfall. And the amount of companies that I've had to deal with where internal messaging is almost non-existent. How these companies still manage to operate baffles me. Basically, they've got enough money that they can just keep throwing at a problem until it goes away, rather than actually fixing anything. It's almost as if leaders don't know what they're doing. It's safe to assume that most people are incompetent. So is she now going to receive a slight disciplinary measure? Nowhere near as intense as the Shaltir throne. Yeah, having a potion manufacturing shut down. Did she forget that she had to give that across as well? And the one that he had was red. And he's got somewhere in the middle. And the fact that he's getting close in his creation. However, I can understand that thinking. He didn't know the value of it. That's due to his mistake, but is he going to just own it? Yes, it was. Obviously, they can't understand his thinking. Experiment on it. Find out what its constituent parts are. It's good that he put these two and two together. It just happens to line that way, fall that way, doesn't it? However, he's not going to work if anything happens to the village. So I've got a feeling of what might happen to this village. Swift judgment. The Giant of the East and the Great Snake. The fact that they could evade scouting from Aura. He's gonna go himself. Ooh. Is he going to do the same thing he did with the hamster? And subjugate them and send them to attack his own territory to see how she reacts? Everyone else is of no consequence. Yep. As we've seen time and time again. Well, I was a mascot. Huh. Then everyone else. If the classes aren't locked in and people can evolve, then yeah. He's got to think of the next 50 moves, doesn't he? Is it time for these kind of thoughts? Do you need to up the calorie intake? Ha! I wonder in which regard. Is this really a conversation? Like there was going to be any other answer to that question. They're all his valuable children. Are we heading for a misunderstanding? Of course. It's almost as if you're expecting something else. Can they get to the point where they can basically create countries for their own individual races? I mean, we know that pretty much everyone in Nazarick, as long as they're safe from the world items, can do what they like. A cave. How innovative. Could just smell bad. It's a cave. I'm guessing this is the giants. Are they intelligent enough to actually talk to? Oh, here we go. Ogres. You dare come into our cave? Don't dare try to touch him. I think being a skeleton and having that where they inherently think him as weak will be quite useful. Did he not mean to kill it outright? A show of strength in a world like this. He can't remember who told him it, but someone did. Was there any of the Supreme Beings who were just there along for the ride and didn't really contribute anything? I doubt they would have stayed in the guild if that was the case. He's a bit large, but a useful ability. Looks like the information was slightly off. He's not a giant and he's not a snake. The Lord of Death. Greatest of the Supreme Beings. I feel they're going to grow to regret laughing. Oh, okay, having a short name makes you powerful. Of course. Because just like horoscopes, things can boil down to that level. Great laugh cycle. So did Hamuske converse with these as well, being one of the three lords of this place, or? He's giving them the opportunity. Yeah, unfortunately no one's actually gonna just go along and allow themselves to be subjugated. I'm guessing it would be bad if he just kills him, because he kind of needs him for experimentation. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get through his barriers, is he? Huh. Huh? My sword isn't working. I need to check. Like a classic troll, yes. I wonder if they're vulnerable to fire. And if it stops their healing capabilities. That hand looks slightly large there. We must work to... So it looks like the snake is just... one of those who goes along and in it for their own, see what they can get. He kneecapped him. It is quite a lesson. The biggest thing that Aura's thinking about right now is, I can't see. Until necessary, we won't kill that one. Does it matter? The power dynamic here has definitely shifted somewhat, hasn't it? Really? Are you going to try to do a surprise attack? Even with his healing factor. The fact that he can't even get close to even testing Ainz's defences. It's not a duel if they all join in. Well, that worked out. Did he just kill them outright there? Yep, he always... Well, mostly always... Troll zombie? He's just going to give away more valuable items. Since these ones are dead. Just drag that Naga along. He's seen Ainz's strength. The man and woman, I understand. Child? Nothing too fanciful. This is Demiurge, so he would like to confirm exactly what he means by the meat. Do they have a meeting room, per se? Still haven't found a replacement voice. Or she's saving it for, Evil Eye. The warning bell. Oh no! Ainz only said that the Nephi, Henry, and the grandmother are important. Nothing to do with the kid. Oh well, too late now. You see, in a world like this, where there are powerful monsters able to run around and slaughter whoever they like, the fact that humans have been self-sustaining and existing quite well-off lives, some of them, it goes to show that our strength isn't exactly in our raw power or capabilities, but more in our ingenuity and technology. I guess it was right that we use the strength of knowing we are weak. Well played, Ainz. He may do a lot of his stuff off the cuff and not really do 100% of planning all the time, but he doesn't walk into it blind either. Using the uprising in the forest as a way of experimenting on the new creatures that you might come into contact with, and also testing out the village, in which he's invested some time and energy into, while also having it as an opportunity for Lupus Regina to show her capabilities. Hopefully she doesn't fail. The fact that he was able to play off the, oh, I gave away a potion because he didn't know the exact value of it right then, but it has found a way to not only benefit him, because, you know, he can't actually produce more being outside of the world of Yggdrasil, but has now bolstered the members of Nazarik's trust and knowledge that he is all-powerful. It's quite fortuitous, really. I did say that maybe becoming chief, you'll now have to deal with some issues, such as the monsters of the forest. I didn't think that it would be under the command of Ain's sending them to her. Of course, if nothing else, the way to expedite Nephi's invention of the red potion would be to put everyone in harm so that he has to create it. I mean, we all know that it's not really a secret that a lot of invention, a lot of great products have been made under the stress of war. What originally starts off as a military application will later be used for the general populace and just bettering our lives. It's just the way it is. So, unfortunately, war is quite good for making us better in that way. Fortunately, quite a few sacrifices have to be made. Because, of course, nothing gets the human condition going like competition. And if you want to help me fight the scourge of, well, the internet and everything else that's going on at the minute, then you can help by liking and subscribing to the channel. Sharing the video among people that might not have seen it might be quite good as well. Of course, if you didn't enjoy, then please also let me know, because bettering myself is very beneficial to pretty much everything. But ultimately, stay safe, get some rest, and I'll see you in the next one.